Early evidence for concrete exists along the Danube River in Yugoslavia, where it was used for floors in 5600 BCE. In China, as far back as 3000 BCE, there is evidence for concrete use in the Gansu province in northwest China. They used cement-like materials to hold together boats made of bamboo, as well as the Great Wall. The Egyptians also used concrete in 2500 BCE. Archaeologists believe the concrete used in ancient Egypt was composed of lime concrete or burnt gypsum, a soft sulfate material composed of calcium sulfate dihydrate. There are even suggestions of the Egyptians utilizing this material when building the pyramids. The earliest known illustration of ancient Egyptians using concrete dates back to 1950 BCE. Archaeologists believe that many Egyptian statues are not carved out of stone, but rather synthetic statues that were cast in molds. However, it was not until the Romans where concrete was used in large quantities for massive structures. And this is no surprise given the geology of Rome. Emperor Caesar Augustus is reputed to have stated, "I found Rome, a city of mud bricks, and left her clothed in marble." A key ingredient in the Romans' concrete was volcanic ash from the area of Pozzuoli. The ash is a pozzolanic material and was shipped all across the Roman Empire for use in various construction projects. And for a long time, this ash alone was believed to be the reason for the concrete's durability. But closer examination of Roman concrete samples tells a different story. Take a look at this concrete sample. It was taken from an archaeological site in Privernum, Italy, and has a few features that are critically important to the concrete's durability. The small, bright white mineral features are known as lime clasts, which originate from lime, another key ingredient in concrete composition. But these lime clasts are not typical for concrete. In fact, they are not present in modern concrete compositions. Due to this, the lime clasts were disregarded as poor mixing and poor quality of materials. But this conclusion was unusual given the nature of Roman engineering. The Romans poured so much effort into ensuring quality architecture and building materials, including concrete. So it made no sense for the lime clast to be an indication of poor quality assurance. Therefore, researchers took a second look at the lime clasts through high-resolution multi-scale imaging and chemical mapping techniques. This is limestone. Limestone is a sedimentary rock composed principally of calcium carbonate or the double carbonate of calcium and magnesium. The rock becomes most useful when it calcinates into calcium oxide or quicklime. This process occurs when the limestone is heated to temperatures above 825 degrees Celsius for about 10 hours. From there, quicklime can be mixed with water in a process known as slaking to form calcium hydroxide or slaked lime. After that, the slaked lime undergoes a carbonation reaction in which it reacts with the carbon dioxide in the air. These chemical reactions create a hard protective shield and were frequently used by ancient people of the Middle East to seal clay walls from erosion. However, this process is non-hydraulic, meaning it cannot be used underwater. But the ancient Romans made some improvements to this process. They mixed the quicklime with pozzolan, which is a broad class of material that reacts with slaked lime and water. The pozzolan that the Romans used was the volcanic ash from the region of Pozzuoli. In the absence of volcanic ash, Romans would instead use powdered brick or pottery. But recent linguistic analyses of Vitruvius's book De Architectura states that the Romans also used artificial pozzolan material. The two primary pozzolans that were manufactured were calcined kaolinitic clay and calcined volcanic stones. This improvement to the process made Roman concrete significantly stronger and, most importantly, enabled it to set hard underwater. It had been thought for a long time that the Romans used slaked lime when creating their concrete, but this process does not explain the lime clasts present in the ancient concrete sample. For the lime clasts to be present in the concrete, the Romans must have used the more reactive quicklime rather than the previous alternative slaked lime, which is quicklime mixed with water. So rather than adding water to the quicklime in a process known as slaking, Romans added the quicklime directly to the concrete in a process known as hot mixing. This process is the key to the extremely durable nature of the Roman concrete. During the hot mixing process, the lime clasts develop a brittle nature, which serves as a reactive calcium source, a key component that enables the concrete to undergo a self-healing process. While self-healing concrete may sound like magic, All it really comes down to is chemistry. It works like this. As tiny cracks begin to form in the concrete, they will travel through the lime clasts. When it rains, the water flows through the cracks and reacts with the lime clasts, making a calcium-saturated solution that recrystallizes as calcium carbonate, which fills the cracks. The solution can also react with the pozzolan material, strengthening the composite material. This process happens spontaneously, preventing the cracks from spreading or growing. This mechanism was proven through testing two samples of concrete, one made with hot mixing and the other with slaking. Each sample was deliberately cracked and had water poured through them. 2 weeks later, the hot mixed concrete was healed. Water could no longer pass through the cracks, whereas the slaked concrete was never healed, and water still passed through it. Chemistry alone, however, will not make concrete as effective as the Romans. A few more important steps are needed to make the structure so durable. Firstly, the Romans used as little water when mixing concrete as possible. This gave the concrete a stiff consistency, which was then pounded into walls. Archaeologists have discovered the use of special tamping tools, which are tools used to level and compact material. These tools were essential in creating effective walls because they closely packed the molecular structure of the concrete, which created more bonding gel. The tamping process also allowed the Romans to use less water in their concrete formula. Following the fall of the Roman Empire, the formula for self-healing concrete was lost in time. But history has shown us that concrete arises in different forms across time and place. During the Middle Ages, the use of pozzolan and burning lime was lost. This caused a drastic deterioration in the quality of cement, but the processes were reintroduced in the 1300s. Many more developments occurred between then and 1824 when Portland cement was introduced. The cement was created by Joseph Aspdin, a bricklayer and mason from England. The name Portland came from the cement resembling stone on the Isle of Portland. Today, Portland cement makes up 98% of United States cement, but while Portland cement was high quality for the time, Roman cement was still exponentially better quality despite being invented thousands of years prior. Luckily, the mystery of Roman concrete has finally been solved. And these revelations have brought significant implications for the future of concrete and the world. Currently, concrete production accounts for about 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Part of the reason this number is so high is due to the brittle nature of the current concrete formulas. This creates a high demand for concrete because structures need constant repairs and maintenance. However, if modern concrete formulas begin to recreate the formula of ancient Romans, the necessity for concrete repairs will drop drastically. This will have a significant impact on greenhouse gas emissions, as well as cut down on costs needed for frequent concrete repairs. Furthermore, concrete to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is in development. Utilizing these concrete formulas together could yield even greater improvements to the concrete global climate impact. Concrete matters, but the way in which it's made varies between time periods. Surprisingly, ancient Romans found the secret to durable concrete long ago. Unfortunately, this secret was lost in time following the fall of the Roman Empire, but science has brought it back. Much work needs to be done in order to implement the self-healing concrete into modern society, but it all starts now, millennium after the ancient Romans perfected it.